It's Wednesday, and it's time for the Contrarians live chat. We are live. Our topic tonight, great last album covers. Panel's here. We're ready. Let's get started. Aha, Tony the Tiger kills me. All right. We are live, and it's Wednesday, and it's the Contrarians live chat. Tonight we are looking at great last album covers. Last week we looked at great, horrible album covers, but tonight we're looking at good things. So the panel's here. We are ready. We want to hear from you in the comments. Welcome, everybody. We are getting closer to July 4th here in the States, so, you know, it's all good. All right, so Martin's here. Todd Evans and Jamie are here tonight, and we are about ready to get started. So I'm going to go as I see it. I think I'm going to go... Oh, let me see how I have the graphics set up. So that might have a lot to do with it. So let's go... I'm not going to go first. Let's go Martin, Jamie, Todd, and then myself, and we'll keep going around. We'll go 3, and 4. All right, let's do it.
All right. So, yeah, the idea here, of course, is this pairs up with our last episode, which was horrible last album covers. These are the last albums by a band. How did they do on their last album cover? And this is the positive show. So the first one I'm going to go with, it's a very negative, weird album, but I think it's a good album cover. We're going with Queen, Made in Heaven. There it is. You know, this is Freddie at Montreux, you know, the victory sign. I guess, you know, I've accomplished everything I've needed to do with my life. I'm going off into the afterworld, you know, on a good note. It's a very strange album. It is kind of an odd funeral album. It's an uneasy, strange of emotion, trying to like paint a happy face on a bunch of things. It's kind of gospel-y. It's mellow. It's just basically Bruce Hornsby music. You know, it's piano music basically, right? And weird long songs and long instrumental passages. But it is a good album cover. You know, there were a lot of there was a lot of you know, drama and emotion. You know, at his final days. You know, in the whole Montreux thing, there's a lot of footage you can see of that. But I don't like the way they've got the Made in Heaven there, and it's just such. Again, even the there's even an odd black humor to that title, Made in Heaven, for this thing. But yeah, posthumous album. I think easily this is the worst Queen album. I don't think there's too many people would argue with that. Grant might argue with it because I think somebody here has talked about this in a positive
What do you mean the worst Queen album for that?
Well, I think
so. I don't know.
I don't.
You
see
think so?
Yeah,
I think so.
It's the one with the least sort of normal songs on it, and
the only one I've never heard.
It's almost like disqualified as a Queen.
I shouldn't say anything because I've never heard it.
Doesn't it remind you of this?
Well, then stop trolling us.
Yeah,
it does. That's funny.
Last Rainbow album.
Very cool. Okay, my next one is I think this is a great album cover as well. The immense David Bowie album Black Star. And there you've got Black Star. You know, people would look at this and say, that's a white album cover. It's called Black Star. Well, you know, to get a Black Star, you got to put it on a white background, right? And then those are all little pieces of the star. It's a digipack. The back is all the text on it is just blind embossing. And then, you know, you could say this is the album cover as well. This is the front of the CD booklet. But yeah, it's just really cool, provocative graphics for what is an incredible, you know, closing album. Comes out the day before or the day after he dies, something like that. But it comes out as he dies. It was all kind of a surprise, as was sort of the previous album. People weren't expecting that either. But yeah, you've got this with it, you know, just the picture of the universe. So yeah, very different. Oddly, I did not plan it that way, but these are two very different ways to think about death. That's for sure. All right. My last one of this bunch is The Clash, Cut the Crap. I actually quite like this album. This is really, I've gotten a fondness for this record over the years. I know it's famously one of the worst albums of all time, so they say. But it's such a great punk rock cover. It looks like a hardcore album. You've got Joe with the mohawk. It's all on this corrugated iron thing. You got the Sex Pistols cut out letters. So yeah, this is the last Clash album, and we know it's a compromised lineup. It's got this amazing shot of the band, but we would never hear from some of these guys ever again. But Paul's in the band, Joe's in the band. But the problem with this, of course, is what's his name? I get Bernie Rhodes. Yeah. Takes over and just screws around with all, puts in all these electronics and stuff all over it. So it sounds like there's a bunch of radios going on while they're recording all the songs, kind of thing. It's kind of weird. So yeah, that is my first bunch. Let's take a quick look over to the comments and see what's going on. Ooh, watching already. What do we got here? Ashley says, I've grown to like Cut the Crap too. That's good news. I hope it's due for a reassessment. I really don't like combat rock still. Nick Drake, Pink Moon. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The God's Last Rites. I can't picture that cover, D-Rocker. Let's see. Sweet Identity Crisis. Yeah, last one with original members. Let's see. Peter's with us. He was in a Queen tribute band. Tons of fun, says Peter. Queen Hot Space is worse. No, I don't know, Ashley.
No, Hot Space is like, no.
This is basically Bruce Hornsby with some vocals thrown on top. Let's see, Foghat, Sonic Mojo, but they're probably still going. Closer, Joy Division. That is a great album cover, I think, too. I think it's as cool as the first, but it is just their second and last. Although they had that weird Still album as well. So Martin's mic is cooperating tonight, and yes, it is. Let's see what else we got. Okay, that's good. Let's move on. Grant, who is next?
Jamie's up.
All right,
Jamie, let's hear your three.
Foghat just released an album this year, a couple months ago, like a blues album.
Yep. Well, what's left of Foghat? Produce something.
Foghat,
yeah, I know. They've even lost Charlie now, right? So, yeah.
And I always said, if I never heard The Clash and somebody gave me Cut the Crap and London Calling and said, listen to these. One of these is considered one of the worst albums of all time. One is considered one of the best. Can you tell which is which? I would go, I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
I can't tell. I don't know. I would probably pick Cut the Crap as like the better one.
Yeah.
Contrarian. Allman Brothers. Hit in the Note. Pretty cool album cover, I think, with the kid.
Yeah.
Mushroom and the elephant. Who doesn't like elephants? Elephants are coming. Pretty
Elvis
decent
Costello,
album,
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Like that. I missed Dickie Betts on it when it first came out, but I like the album. Police, Synchronicity. I always thought it was cool that they had 36 different versions of this album cover.
36, wow.
And it took me about 2.5 decades to know that, notice that. Maybe I was told that. Then I went, oh, yeah. And the vinyl appears to be black, but it's supposed to be purple when you put it up to light. I put this up to light. It still looks
cool.
Not all of them are purple.
Yeah, I got a black one.
Probably the original pressings were probably, Todd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And this came up last week as one of the worst. Black Sabbath 13. I like the lenticular thing going on with the movement. I think the 13 looks cool in a Wicker Man kind of way.
I like this cover too.
I don't mind. Yeah, it looks evil. Very evil. And I don't mind that it's called 13 because it came out in 2013. So it's kind of like Whitesnake putting an 87 on their self-titled album in a way.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I feel an album war coming on.
there you go.
Yeah. Nice.
All right.
And this album has grown on me as well over the last decade.
All right.
All right, cool.
I just want to take a quick look over here. We're seeing some comments. Peter's brought up Boston Life, Hope and Love 2013. Yeah, they may never put out another album. D-Rocker mentions Molly Hatchet Jukebox Saloon 2020. I don't even remember that.
I don't even know what that is.
Is that going to be the last thing they ever did? Or maybe it's not a proper. Let us know, D-Rocker, if that's a proper legitimate studio album. It's got a little bit of a cover album vibe to the title. Let's see. Van Halen, A Different Kind of Truth. That came up last week, right? Duke Jupiter. Who talks about Duke Jupiter enough, right?
D-Rocker does.
Fire, yeah. 85. Very cool. Dio Master of the Moon. More on that later there, Elder. All right, over to Todd.
Okay, well, I think I've talked about this album before, but I can't remember in what context. This is Anathema's The Optimist. And it's kind of cool because it was made of as the concept of this album is that it's supposed to be about the guy from the cover of their 2001 album, A Fine Day to Exit, which features a car like on the beach, and it looks like somebody's abandoned the car on the beach, and like all his stuff is still in the car. So this album is supposed to be like what happens to that guy. And this album came out in 2017, so many years later. My second one, and I'm not really sure what people are going to think of this one, but I think this is good. The B-52's Funplex. I think that's a great cover. I don't know what y'all think of it, but I think it's good.
Fine.
Considering those,
it's got a little bit of that too photoshopped fake.
It does.
Right?
It does. Yeah. It's got a little. There's a little bit of fakeness to it.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Parallel lines from Blondie.
What's that? Yeah.
Parallel lines from Blondie a little bit.
Yeah. They maybe look a little too good considering they were in their early 60s at the time.
Yeah,
but,
Kate's figure is looking.
Yeah, Kate's figure doesn't look quite right.
Yeah.
But, and then for my next one, I hope we got the right cover on this.
God, I hope so.
From 2010, it's the one where he's a little boy sitting at the drum kit.
Come on, Todd. I'm not going to leave you hanging.
I think that was good. Well, the other one, they re-released it later, shorter, cutting some songs out of it, and that cover's good too. That's a elder Phil Collins in a similar pose. But I like this cover. I think it's great. I wish the album was as good as the cover because I think that's fantastic. I don't know where they found a picture of him sitting at a kit, but it's great. I love that.
Very cool.
I've never heard it.
It's pretty good. It's not great.
We got Neuromass mentioning Rush, Clockwork Angels. I'm not crazy about that album cover for some reason. It looks a little rushed.
I'm not either.
Together, no pun intended. Love that B-52's cover and one of the greatest last albums in my opinion, says Normand. Yeah, I should go listen to it then. Very cool. Sneaker, Loose in the World, 82, says D-Rocker. Soundgarden, King Animal. Yeah, that's a great one. That is a
More
great
on that later.
cover. I love that cover. Okay, good. Savatage, Poets and Madmen. That was a cool cover. Abbey Road. It's considered the last album recorded. BTO, self-titled, 84. Let's see. The Jam, The Gift. Yeah, I had that in the last one as a not great one. Surathungal, Dark Parade, says Jason. Cover songs for the Molly Hatchet. Thank you, D-Rocker. Very cool. All right, over to our dear leader, Grant.
Oh, well, don't put me there. All right, here we go. My number one. Now you have to realize when we do these shows, everybody gives me their picks, and then I have to come at the end and I got to pick up what's left. So, but I think I've got some good choices. My number one, I'm going to go with Husker Du, Warehouse. What is this record
Songs
called?
and Stories. Yeah.
Warehouse
Songs and Stories.
I love this album cover.
Yeah,
I've got this on CD. I think it's great. The colors are vibrant. And, what can I say? You look at it and go, what the hell is this? But it's cool looking. I like it.
And with a sticker on the cellophane that said it. Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of New Order Technique. It's the same kind of color scheme.
Yeah.
But it's a great cover. I love it. All right. Another two. This one's kind of an iconic cover. This is at the end of Johnny Cash's life, but I think the photo is beautiful. I like the font. It just says Cash. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Johnny Cash was an icon. You just see enough of his face. This pretty much sums it up. I think it's beautiful. It's great. Someone else has already mentioned this in the comments. Nick Drake. And there it is. It's kind of like that Dolly-esque kind of thing, kind of surrealistic. But, when this album came out, no one bought it, went by the wayside. If it wasn't for other artists looking at Nick's catalog, you would never hear of Nick Drake. So I think it's a good cover.
Yeah, for all the praise we heap upon Jimmy Page for his acoustic guitar playing, it's like you could listen to any 2 or 3 Nick Drake songs, and it's like if Jimmy did this on a Zeppelin album, it would be like the best acoustic guitar on a Led Zeppelin album, right?
Yeah.
He's just constantly so cool. So
all right, there you go. All
Grant,
right,
what do you guys think is the best Husker Du album? I'm kind of interested.
I think this. I think
I
Warehouse.
I think Warehouse is too.
Yeah, I guess I'd kind of go with that.
Ray is good.
I was like, I think I got one. Oh no, it's the
It might be a little bit more polished than the rest of the catalog, but I think
Yeah.
the songwriting and everything, I think this was a great way to send it off. I think I'm giving it to this record.
I always put the last three pretty much together, and then New Day Rising is the cusp record where they've got the the hardcore super heaviness obscurity of old and the new ideas. And then I guess if you're a super music snob, you're gonna pick Zen Arcade, right? It's their Trout Mask replica, basically. I love this one. Yeah, I love this one.
I love this record.
I think they're all about the same, right?
Yep, I agree.
Cool.
All right, cool. Martin, you're up.
Okay, quick look here. We got Lucifer's Friend, Black Moon, 2019. Interesting. I can't remember what that even sounds like. Was that a cool one, D-Rocker? Electric Wizard, Wizard, Bloody Lizard. Says our man, Split Ends. See you around. Let's see. There's a mention for New Day Rising. All right. Let's see. My next three. My first one is the great Damageplan album from or pretty good. Let's not over exaggerate, but basically this is like a Pantera album, but you're missing Phil, I guess, kind of thing on it. But yeah, what a great album cover. Obviously, tragically, they only made the one album ever. I saw them on this tour last time I ever saw them, of course. But yeah, great title, Newfound Power, and just a really good explosion kind of thing there. It really gives you that super powerful heavy metal vibe. There's the back. And then my next choice is Pink Floyd and The Endless River. I'm proud to say I don't own a copy of this. I think this is basically Made in Heaven by Queen is on its way to this album. This is like take the vocals off of Made in Heaven and you end up with this stupid thing, right?
Oh, look how much space it takes up on my shelf, dude.
Well, look at that.
Look, you can read all about the album.
Oh God, yeah. Talk about a messy ending. There's a show idea. The messiest endings to a career, right?
Write that down. Write that down, gentlemen.
Yeah, the Blackmore Stranger in Us All. You think of a UFO ending with a covers album.
Made in Heaven.
It's kind of a neat, Made in Heaven itself. Yeah. So this is really kind of ridiculous. It's just like almost like a new age album, right? Kind of thing. But it's got a good album cover, fairly cool album cover. And again, I guess it's a send off to Rick Wright the same way, and that's why the album cover makes sense with Made in Heaven as well. It's a similar album. There's an album wars for you that makes cool sense. Put this up against Made in Heaven. And my last one of this group is the immense Adam and the Ants with Prince Charming.
Yes.
Love this record to death. Great cover. The original pirate metal guy, except it's not really metal, but I mean, it can be heavy at times, these guys. The back cover, I don't know, not so much. I don't think they pull it off as well on the back cover, but Adam certainly does. But yeah, this album is just an absolute masterpiece.
And don't forget, Adam Ant was the blueprint for Stephen Pearcy. Stephen Pearcy's a big Adam Ant fan.
Wow, I did not know that. That is
because
cool.
When he was on the 80s cruise and he did the interview, he was talking about, now you would think Stephen Pearcy's like a big metal. No, he likes new wave. He likes Duran Duran, Adam and the Ants, and all that stuff. That's what he likes.
Smart guy, man. He's a writer and everything as well. Yeah. But I just love that story because you can totally see the Adam.
That's where he took it. That's where he took his look, was from Adam Ant.
That is really cool. And thank you, William Walker, for a donation. Very nice.
Wait a minute. We need to bring that up. William Walker, thanks so much.
Yeah. And all your contribution. And for my podcast, William comes up with so many ideas. For the podcast, and he fills out a lot of things. So he's been a lot of help, and he's always at the show, which is very cool. Thank you again.
Thank you.
That is my last one. Let's go over to Jamie.
All
right. I'm going with I got this cool little box set of all of Bob Marley's albums, and the last one he did was Confrontation, and I think the album cover's pretty cool. And the album this came out after he was dead.
Right.
So it was a bunch of demos that they just kind of beefed up, and you would think it really sucks, but it doesn't. And this is where Buffalo Soldier came from, this album.
A classic.
Yes, and the cover. The album cover depicts Bob Marley taking the role as a military saint, St. George, slaying the dragon, which symbolizes Babylon.
Wow.
Your little Wikipedia page on that. The next one came up last week as one of the worst. And I was like, how am I going to defend this? Maybe I should change
I can hardly wait.
I'm going with it. I'm sticking with it. Kiss Monster. Now,
Oh, yeah.
Now,
All right, go ahead.
This is why I'm picking it. Because, yes, it looks fake and blah, blah, blah. But it kind of looks cartoony. And Kiss has always been cartoony. I mean, they had the comic books and the stupid movie on TV. And the one before, which kind of looks like Rock and Roll Over a little bit, they were very cartoony. And I like this album. So when I saw this cover and they're kind of looking Kiss in a cartoon way, I'm like, maybe this one would be just as good as this one. So this cover gave me hope on this being a good album. So in that way.
And you know,
that makes sense.
And how'd it work out, Jamie?
Monster's not as good. It's kind of like Sonic Boom Light.
Yeah, and you know, it looks cartoonish, but it's also kind of badass. I mean, look at Eric Singer; looks great in that cover. I mean,
I do like how Paul's hand comes out at you.
Yeah,
I don't know.
All right,
that's a cool cover. Yeah,
I don't know.
I defended that enough.
All right,
1, 2, and my third one, ZZ Top, La Futura, where I just think they look kind of cool there.
Yeah,
and their silhouettes. They also look a little cartoony there with the little necks and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think their beards have ever been trimmed that well.
Yeah, but I think, and you know what? This is turning into like one of my go-to albums for ZZ Top too. Very good record.
I'll tell you, Jamie, that the one thing about that record that I can't get out of my mind since I had this brilliant thought is that it sounds like a shorter version of the worst song or songs that were left off of Mescalero. So it's shorter. And it's less entertaining, less exciting, less songs, and the songs are really more conservative. So it to me this is like Mescalero light. Although I still like it, it's still got the same. Well, even the production isn't as radical as on Mescalero, but man, yeah, ZZ Top in the later years, Rhythm-Mean and all that, man, they're a really cool band that people should pay more attention to. Yeah. And yeah, Gots to Get Paid is brilliant. That's an absolute classic. Yeah.
Hey, Ken White, you mentioned The Hunt. You get ready because Pete Pardo's on board and we're going to do a show on The Hunt.
All right. Nice. So let's just go over to the comments because I saw that Nathan Fuller gave us a donation, $5. Thank you very much.
Where? I missed. Oh,
in green.
Nathan's. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Nice.
We've got Steve Poleri is here and has mentioned Mott the Hoople. Very cool. Dark Song Shout, says D Rocker 92. Led Zeppelin In Through the Outdoor. Absolutely. Oh yeah, we left that one off. We haven't. Maybe someone's bringing up that. Let's see. Monster is the updated Hotter Than Hell cover. That's a pretty cool idea. Yeah.
So you don't count Coda?
Yeah.
Coda doesn't count.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah. How do we look at that?
Westworld Cyber Dreams 2002, Shooting Star Into the Night 2015, Sisters of Mercy Vision Thing. Yeah, that's a pretty cool one. All right, over to Todd.
Okay, so this was mentioned before, and here it is again. Rush Clockwork Angels. And you know, we talked about this Martin mentioned it during the last show about maybe not so great last album covers. And I looked at it and I thought, you know what? I'm really not sure. I almost took it off my list, but then I thought about the whole picture, and I thought about the back, and I thought about, you know, the inside, and I thought, well, the color's nice, the font's cool. Yeah, maybe it's a little lackluster, but it's
the clock is set at 2112.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Come on.
I mean,
well, that you have.
Don't you think the symbols are kind of trying too hard, though? It's like they're throwing too much at you. It's like, oh, there's a lot of meaning on here.
Yeah, that's one of my issues with it. Yeah.
I don't think all those Hugh Syme covers are all that great. Some of them are all right. I'm not.
Yeah.
Farewell to Kings are great. Permanent Waves is great, but you know.
Yeah. All right. What's next, Todd?
And my next one is the album that is better than it has the right to be. Total 14 right there.
Yes.
And they've to be fair, they've got another album called Old Is New that came out after that, but it's a collection of songs from different eras. So this is really the last time they were in the studio to make a proper album. And look at that thing. It's great. I love that cover.
And to do a shameless plug, Todd was in the warehouse, Grants Rock Warehouse, and we ranked those records.
I was, and I talked about Toto 14 a lot.
Exactly.
And
So
I
check
and
that
the one
out.
we did about the songs too. And this one right here, I think this is great. This is Devo something for everybody.
Love that cover.
I just think that's absolutely fantastic. It
Fantastic.
It shows something from their past and in a completely different way, and I just think it's really cool.
It's excellent.
Excellent.
It's top notch.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Over to our dear leader again.
Oh, boy. Here we go. It's a lot of pressure. All right. I'm surprised Todd Evans didn't bring this up, but maybe, I don't know. We've talked about this band before, but I'm not sure if he's that big of a fan. But I think this band is brilliant. This is the 80s version of Radiohead. You can quote me on that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go with the Laughing Stock from Talk Talk. Absolutely.
I hate to expose myself like this, but I'm not that big of a I don't have a lot of knowledge about Talk Talk, so I wasn't sure.
Well, I think we've talked about it before. That I've been trying to get a Talk show together for 2 years, but that's I think this record, this is very out there. The last every album they became more avant-garde, so to speak, and this is really out there. But it's a great record, great cover. I highly recommend it. Because they pretty much started out as, I don't know, they weren't so much new. What would you say, Todd? Were they more of a new wave band?
I thought they were New Romantics in the beginning. I got to learn.
Martin, you might be right. More New Romantics.
Yeah, it's really hard to classify.
You listen to Laughing Stock, and it bears no resemblance to anything else. So it's good.
I think you could say art rock, too.
Art rock? You could say
some of their albums, there's not a lot of distance between them and something like Avalon. So yeah.
Right. All right. This cover no one brought up, but we're going to go back to the 60s. I'm going to bring up the last Buffalo Springfield album. Last time around. And this is one of those records where the cover really does say a lot, because at this time Neil Young had left. They basically took all these tracks and they built this record. A lot of it was recorded. I don't know if a lot of this was for the Stampede album that was shelved, quote unquote shelved. But, Neil's basically out of the picture. Now you've got the rest of the band looking off in one direction, and you've got Neil looking the other direction. I think it's a great cover, though. Very, very classy. I love it. All right. And then, this makes me laugh. My number 6. Now, you may think this is a good cover. You may think crappy cover. I don't know. It looks like a Hypnosis cover. And, to be quite honest, I'm not sure if this is a Hypnosis cover. But I'm going to go with the Final Grand Funk album. That's right. What's Funk? Is that Hypnosis or not? Do you guys know?
I don't think so, no.
But it does look like a
Hypnosis at this point, right? It's just Storm doing the odd thing on his own.
Could this be Storm? It looks like it. Yeah. I think it's a great cover. It has nothing to do with we're an American band or anything about any kind of foot stomping music. But I think it's an okay cover. She looks great in her bathing suit.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good cover.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. It's kind of, well, it is what it is. But I thought I'd pick it just because I was running out of ideas. It took me 2 hours to come up with my choices. Thank you, gentlemen. All right. So here we go.
Well, we got another donation from Ashley. So
holy crap, everybody's getting on board.
Yeah. And we've got some mentions here. LaRue, One of Those Days, 2020. In Utero, definitely. I was thinking of picking that one. Roxy Music, Avalon, great cover. Let's see what else we got. That's a bad cover. Last Grand Funk cover is awful.
I think it's all right.
It's a good point. RLH Arundel. It does look like a Roxy Music cover.
Logan, you know why she's got those jumper cables.
Yeah, it looks like a UFO cover to me.
It does.
Yeah, I think it's good, but maybe not
Scorpions. Scorpions, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Klaatu, Magenta Lane.
That's a good cover.
Spawn movie poster, Abbey Road. Okay, on to my last 4. We've got starting out with Dio, Master of the Moon. A kind of a follow-up to the Killing the Dragon cover. And I like that the covers are kind of muted. It's all just, nice, cool blues and a little bit of purple and white and stuff. Wasn't crazy about this album. This is Dio in his let's write everything super slow phase. Big blocky drums on it. Although One More for the Road was pretty cool. But yeah, sadly, the last one we were going to get from Ronnie. And next I've got UK Danger Money, which is Hypnosis. That's my fully signed Danger Money. And this is very, I always line this up with things like Golden Earring to the Hilt, because it looks like a crime has just taken place, and he's washing his hands and stuff. But yeah, UK, it goes with the title, Danger Money. On the back, you got a shot of the guys looking fine there. So yeah, I think that's a good last cover. They only made 2 studio albums and 1 live album. The live album cover is hideous. The Night After Night, or whatever it's called.
I think it's all right.
Brutal cover. And then we've got Typo Negative, Dead Again. Love this one. There's my bonus DVD version in the card sleeve of that. So that's your Rasputin kind of thing. I love their album covers. They just have such a cool, mordant, tongue-in-cheek humor to them, right? And look at the back of this, eh? That's the I guess that's the the Romanovs, right? The daughters, they were all ushered out to a house, when the revolution was happening, and then they were all taken down to the basement. Everybody was shot, and apparently one of them escaped and lived on, but that's kind of like an urban legend. But yeah, so that's crazy putting that on the back. But yeah, what a great cover. And look at the type on that too, eh? The semi-Russian looking Cyrillic.
I like that.
Yeah, great cover. And typical Typo album, basically. I mean, they, those last few are pretty similar to each other. But and then my last one is Stars Coliseum Rock. This is a really cool album cover with a big logo. There's a theme for you. We've probably done it or covered it in some way, but the big logo, the logo turned into something. So this is a Coliseum. Sadly, this record, I've always, we thought of this the moment it arrived. It's way heavier than Attention Shoppers, but the production is so incredibly polite on it that the life is just sucked out of these songs, right? It's Jack Richardson, right? Known for the Guess Who, was recorded in Toronto at the Soundstage. But, these songs, they basically needed a whole new performance and new production. But the songs were there. It's a pretty heavy album. But no, there are no other Stars albums as far as I know.
I don't think so.
We got compilation and things, right? Or maybe some half live stuff. But yeah, great album cover. And of course, this looks absolutely like a cross between a Kiss cover and Angel White Hot. I mean, it just fits in that great iconic 70s illustrated thing, 1978. So that is my last one. Quick look over to the comments.
Novo Combo D-Rocker. Oh my God.
Nation Generation 82.
That reminds me when Todd and I were in where did we go? We were in Chicago. We went to that record store. Remember that, Todd? And I showed you that Novo Combo album, and it was like $65.
Yeah.
And I'm going, oh my God.
Who's paying that much for it? Yeah.
Who's paying that much for albums? This record store we went to in Chicago, ladies and gentlemen, the prices were unbelievable.
Wow.
All right, the first Rush album on Mercury was like $70.
Wow. Yeah.
It wasn't anything special.
It wasn't the Moon Records version either.
Not the Moon Records. It was just crazy.
Now, that is a $45 record all day long, but yeah, everything was about 40% higher.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, we're seeing that in Toronto too. You
really?
walk into a store and there's almost like a personality to the pricing process in the various stores.
I guess it's time to unload my vinyl, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what it says to me.
Yeah. All right, let's just see what we've got here. Steve Poleri's brought up Strange Ways. Here We Come, the Smiths. I think all their covers are solid. Lena Lovitch, Shadows and Dust, says Norman. Ashley has brought up Baker Gervitz Army, Hearts on Fire. Yeah, that is a cool cover. Angel Risen, but they may be back, Gary. Stars Requiem was the last. That's not really a studio album.
That's a best of.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. The gun sight, says Ashley, 1970. Yeah. All right. Over to Jamie for his final 4.
All right. This one is the shirt I'm wearing. The sword used feature. Right there. I like the car. I think the car looks cool in an old-timey future kind of way. I love the colors. I just think I like the lightning bolt in the back. I think it's badass.
Wow, there was such a hype on those guys, right? Or have they gone away, basically? Yeah.
They broke up, but you know what? They're all younger than us, so they're somewhat young. I have a feeling they'll get back together because they're not really doing anything.
Yeah.
You know?
I had one of the guys from the band as a guest in my Pink Floyd panel book, because didn't they do an entire version of Dark Side of the Moon?
The guitarist did.
Yeah.
Doom Side of the Moon, right?
Right. So yeah, I had him as a guest in that Pink Floyd book for Voyager, the big, hardcover, full color.
His last
throughout.
name is Schutt or something like that.
Can't remember his name now. Yeah, I
Got me.
remember that, but yeah, that was cool. And I saw them live. They were cool. I saw them opening up for Opeth, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw them open up for Opeth. I didn't think that was their best moment.
Yeah.
I seen them about 5 times, and the other 4 times they were great.
Wow.
All right. Next one, Blackfoot. I never heard this album.
Me either.
Notorious.
Really cool.
Yeah. You know the story behind this, right?
No.
That band, that album, Recchia hired like 5 20-year-old guys to be Blackfoot, and they made that album. That's it.
Wow.
That's the story. Yeah, and they got crucified for it, and they haven't done it again. But that was a bold business move, shall we say? That's like the whole.
It's always weird when you got the 68-year-old out front and 20-year-old in the back. Is it any good?
No, he's not involved in any way. He's just
not in it.
In any way.
Just go be Blackfoot. Oh yeah.
Kiss hiring it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got my blessing, and that's enough. Huh?
And he's a lead singer, right? He can sing.
Yeah.
So it's and he's energetic and fit, and he's the most vital guy in Lynyrd Skynyrd, and yet why are you not even in this version of Blackfoot? You may as well be,
How weird. How odd.
Yeah, you don't have to go on tour, just record the damn thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
A band I miss, Torch Admission. Kind of a stoner rocky kind of alternative rock band. I love the color, that light purple, and it's just so, I don't know, empty looking. I dig it. I dig it a lot.
It reminds me of is it the band Broken Bells?
Maybe.
I don't know. It reminds me of a Broken Bells album cover.
That's a good album too. And my last one, somebody said, and it is probably the best one on this list that I have, King Animal, Soundgarden. Yeah. Oh, God, it's such a bummer about Chris Cornell, because I wanted to see where they were going to go from here. But the cover is so badass. You're walking around in the woods, you come across that, you better run.
Never liked that name of the band.
On top next.
Yeah. I never liked that name of the band, Soundgarden, right? It's just.
I think it's named after a painting of some sort, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Soundgarden.
So weird. I don't like those two words put together like that, kinds of names.
I'm so used to saying it that
I know.
I don't know.
Like the Cars and the Police, you get used to.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I get it.
Is that all yours?
Yeah, that was it.
You're done? Okay. Let's just take a quick look. Gary Joyce has brought up Thin Lizzy, Thunder and Lightning. That would probably fit more in our last show, right? We all make a lot of fun of that album cover. Let's see. Lizzie Borden, My Midnight Things. Oasis, Dig Out Your Soul. Didn't that show up in the last one?
It did.
Stooges, Ready to Die. Yeah. Let's see. The Biz, Get Up. That's the Boys turning into the Biz, right? That's the B.
Hey, D Rocker, I hate to interrupt, but I just got that CD and it is great.
The Biz or the Boys?
The Biz. Well, I've got both. We did a show on the Boys.
I got both on vinyl.
But yeah, the Biz are great. It's great.
Yeah. Blue Cheer, What Doesn't Kill You, says Ashley. Good one. The Storm, Eye of the Storm, D Rocker. Very cool. All right, over to Todd.
Okay, well, I like this next album cover, no matter what anybody else says. I have a feeling it's not that popular. But this is Fleetwood Mac, Say You Will. And I think it's very cool.
One
I
of
like
their
the
better
font,
ones.
like the photo.
It's-
Yeah, and it's cool because it's kind of like Rumors and Mirage, where you got 2 people on the front and the other 2 people on the back, and McVie and Fleetwood are on the back. So I
And
think
what's a good doppelganger for that one, Todd?
Oh, I don't know what.
Queen Sheer Heart Attack.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Are they dead or are they sleeping? What is it? Yeah, that's great. I didn't think of that. And then my next one, somebody mentioned this as a bad last album cover in the comments last week, but I think it's good. This is Cocteau Twins' Milk and Kisses from
Wait a
96.
minute. Wait a minute. That's
What,
not
do you
what
not-
I've got.
Oh yeah, that's some kind of alternate cover. Yeah, this is the one I was talking about.
Okay, well,
I
this
like
one's
that
not
one
much
too.
better. Okay.
I like the female figure and very much obscured, and then the font is super cool, and even the back looks good. It looks very 4AD to me, which is what you're going for.
So's
there.
the other cover.
Twins.
Looks very
Yeah,
4AD.
it does. Yeah, I like the other one too. I don't know where you found that.
I
You
don't.
mentioned that.
The only one that I could find was this.
Well, that's good.
That's all good.
And then, I have a feeling that there are probably people that don't like this next one, but I actually really like it a lot. It's Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers' Hypnotic Eye. It looks kind of, I thought Grant was
I
gonna
don't
say
like
that.
it.
It looks
like
kind of Blue Note to me. I like it. I think
does.
Maybe
It
I like it
doesn't-
because it doesn't look like a Petty album. And
does
Well,
look
that's
like
why. That's why I don't like it. It doesn't look like a Petty album.
It does hypnotize
I think
you
it's
a little
cool.
bit.
Yeah.
Hence the title.
Remember that guy years ago that did those awesome heavy metal covers to look like 50s jazz covers? Did just a bang up beautiful job of it. Yeah, that's a long time ago now. That was like a cool internet meme like 7 years ago or something, right? Iron Maiden, Power Slave, and I think he did a Sepultura and a Metallica. Yeah, those were really cool. You should
Yeah, I don't know.
check them
I'll
out
have
if you
to
haven't
find
seen
those.
them. Yeah.
And then my last one has been mentioned in of course, Joy Division, Closer.
Yeah.
Which I think is just absolutely stunning.
Classy. Classic.
Yeah. It's just really, really nice.
Great. Very cool. All right, let's see. Well, this is a good one. Probot would fit as the first and last album cover. That was a great album cover by the great Away from Voivod, right? Let's see. What else here? The Boys are a great band. Pretty darn cool. The Verve Fourth. Let's see. The Biz Rock. Blah blah blah. Endless River wouldn't classify. Yeah, we classified it. We were not happy about it. Big Force Majeure 86. All right, over to Grant.
Right, here
for
we
his
go.
Final four.
All right, my final four. Once I scroll up and find it. All right, so by the end of my list, I'm really trying to find things because more albums I think are not album covers aren't as good as they should be. But I think this is okay. I'm gonna go with the final Steely Dan album cover. Everything Must Go.
I
think
almost
it's a
picked
nice.
that.
I think it's classy.
Yeah.
It's nicely done. Sepia tone. I'm not that crazy about the font so much, but I think it's fine.
Okay.
I think it's okay. But one of the albums when I was doing my search that I think's really great, and I was kind of surprised because I'm not even familiar with this record, but the last Procol Harum album. I think that
Yeah, that is good.
the drawing is great. I think it looks really classy, and I think it's wonderful.
Very cool.
I've never heard. Hell, I didn't even know this album came out, ladies and gentlemen. But I think the cover's nice. I think it's very
like
nice.
to hear that. Yeah.
Now, this kind of goes hand in hand with what I'm saying. I want to ask the panel if they've even recognized. I'm going to throw it up. I don't even have to say what it is. Tell me who this is.
Oh man.
Everybody in the comments, I'm throwing it out there. Tell me. Don't look it up. Tell me who is this?
I would
not
say
right.
it's,
It looks
I
like
would say
Dale from Pet Shop Boys.
I mean, it looks like a Hugh Syme cover.
No one in the comments is coming up with anything. I need someone in the comment. Tell me what this is. Come on, everybody.
Wow.
We're live. Let's do this. Work together.
No.
David Lynch. We got Dave. See, no one knows who it is. This is the last Steve Miller Band album cover from like
Wow.
10 years
I
ago.
never would have thought that.
No.
No, didn't
No one
Wait.
knows in the chat.
Why,
It was the
why
last
does it
Steve.
not say Steve Miller?
It doesn't
Band
say. It look, Logan. Then Logan comes up and says Steve Miller. Logan, for God's sake. But
I
you
knew
know,
that.
Steve Miller Band. Who knew? I think it's a cool cover. It kind of looks like a Hugh Syme cover.
I guess it goes with Abracadabra. So,
on. Yeah.
yeah.
Martin for the win, ladies and gentlemen. Ken, you would never get this one. It tells you how many records Steve was selling in the
Yeah.
2011. So there you go. All right. So my last one, a lot of people don't know what this cover is. This band kind of fizzled out. I think it was only one left, and he was not an original member in this band, but I like the cover. I'm going to go with the last Velvet Underground album.
Yeah.
That's kind of a cool cover.
Yeah,
It
I
is
like
cool.
that.
I don't know what it means,
Mhm.
but is that King Kong holding the
yeah, could be.
Empire State Building? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Neat.
But anyway, that's what, 1971, 72? Crappy record, cool cover. So that's my last one.
Nice.
All right.
Nice. Okay. Very cool. Well, let's see what else we've got for the last final comments. Last Merciful Fate cover is probably the best final cover ever. Yeah, that is very cool. That's for sure. Let's see. Bugs Bunny. No, I guess there's not much
Not
more
much
coming in,
there.
but there have been a lot. So, Grant, go ahead and
All
wrap
right,
it up.
let's wrap it up. All right, kids. Well, this was yet another great live Wednesday show. We want to thank everybody for coming. Thank you, everyone, for the donos. We love donations. But if you'd like to be on these panels, you could be on these panels. We also have a Patreon, which we have a lot of great interaction over there. So please join our Patreon. If you don't want to do that, we do have a Ko-fi. Please buy us a pint or a cup of coffee. We'd love to have that. And like I said, we've had 3 donos tonight. Thank you, everybody. We love donations. It makes our day. We do this because, we like to
We got
talk
nothing else
music.
to do on a Wednesday.
We have nothing else to do. We have sad lives. And Wednesday, we have to do something. So this is what we do.
And remember, Grant, next week we're doing Tuesday, everybody.
All right. Next week, we will be back, but we're doing a Tuesday because, as everyone knows, July 3rd, a lot going on here in the States. Party on, ladies and gentlemen. And, of course, July 4th is the holiday. So we will be here 7 p.m. on Tuesday next week. So tune in there. We will be live, and that's going to be a really good show because it's a great topic. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but trust me, it's great. All right, gentlemen. Thanks for doing this. Jamie, Todd, Martin, myself, we'll see everybody. Have a good
All
one.
right. Thanks
All right.
again. See ya.